First up tonight, Australia's latest quadruplets. The Cole quads were born 2 weeks ago. Their arrival was cause for great celebration, of course, but also great concern, because these tiny babies came into the world nearly 14 weeks early. Tara Brown has this exclusive report.
Now tell me the order of birth.
Yes, don't stump me on that one. Imogen was born first. She was the one that wanted out, I think, because she was with all the boys. So she was delivered first, and then Robert, and then Jackson, and then this little man, Edward.
A cute little man. I think he knows we're talking about him.
I think so.
I've told everybody that cares to listen, that's for sure. Yeah, anyone that's got that, I feel sorry for the people on the bus stop, I mean, and strangers in the street, but that's all part of being a proud dad, I suppose.
If you're one of the few Maurice Cole hasn't told yet, he's the proud dad of a very special family. One tiny girl, 3 tiny boys, naturally conceived and naturally startling news to both Maurice and Catherine.
But it was a shock. I think I kind of went a little bit hysterical, like I was laughing, but I did have tears sort of rolling down my cheeks as well.
Because you hear of double trouble, but this is double trouble.
Quadruple trouble. No, but I think we'll cope.
Now, Catherine told me that when you guys found out you were having quads, that you went green. Is that right?
I didn't know which way to look or which way to turn. It was just, it hit me like a ton of bricks, yeah. And I could feel the temperature rising in my head and the blood pressure zooming. And I thought, wow, this is really special. So, yeah, I did go a bit green.
Catherine was only 15 weeks pregnant then. Just 11 weeks later, the babies decided their accommodation was too cramped, nearly 4 months before they were due.
I was scared. I was really scared. I didn't want it to happen so early. I wanted the babies to stay in there, you know, for as long as possible to get, you know, more mature, especially their lungs.
What concerns did you have when Catherine went into premature labour?
Well, she was born at 26 weeks gestation, so that makes her about 14 weeks premature. At that age, then they're all going to need the care of ventilators. At that age, there's some concern whether they'll survive or not. The survival's about 65 to 80% at that age, and so they might come off to what we call CPAP.
Catherine's doctor, neonatologist Dr. John Arnold, took over the care of the babies immediately after their delivery by caesarean section. Just 6 minutes separates firstborn Imogen and her youngest baby brother, Edward.
She really holds on, doesn't she?
Yes, she does.
Baby Imogen is a real little fighter, and she needs to be. The next couple of weeks will be the toughest for her and her brothers as they battle to survive. They're still not out of the woods yet. They're still concerned about them. Do you think about that very often?
I do. I think about it every day and every night. I know they've got a long road ahead of them, but...
Is there one that you're particularly worried about?
Jackson's been doing it a little bit tougher the last couple of days. But once again, the nurses have assured me that it's just something that we have to expect. They will have their good days and their bad days.
Their health is constantly monitored at Sydney's Royal North Shore Hospital with one-on-one care. The neonatal intensive care unit, their home for the next 3 weeks. The nurses here, their guardian angels. Oxygenation, blood pressure, temperature, everything. I mean, we monitor everything closely because, I mean, with preterm babies, it's so quickly, it's so easy for them to deteriorate without us noticing. So we've got to be pretty much on the ball and fairly observant to what they're doing. Clinical nurse specialist Jane Powell is used to growing attached to fragile babies who come under her care. They're often here for a long time. Do you have a favourite yet? Oh, they're all beautiful children. At just 8 days old, Edward's entire hand is only slightly bigger than his mum's thumbnail. They all weigh around the 1 kilo mark, about the size of a bag of sugar and just as sweet.
In the old language, that's £2 2 ounces, £2 3 ounces.
In anyone's language, that's small.
Very small, yeah.
Imogen and Robert are twins, and Jackson and Edward are identical twins. Even so, all have already established their own place in their mum's heart.
I can definitely start to tell them apart. Robert likes me to actually stroke him and rub his forehead, and he gets very soothed by that. I think they recognise my voice. when I start talking to them, it tends to soothe them a little bit and calm them down.
That must mean a lot to you.
It does, especially because I can't really hold them like I could a full-term baby. I've had a couple of cuddles already.
Have you?
Yeah, it's been very special.
And for each of them, 4 little bears, 4 little champions.
Yeah, well, you call them 4 little
They're
champions.
my 4 little champions, yeah, my future front row for North Sydney.
It took the entire nursing staff to throw Morris out of the hospital where he'd bunked down in Catherine's room.
Yeah, you're just on site now.
As his family recuperates, he's been driving the home front, at work, and looking after their 18-month-old daughter, Maddison.
Imogen? It's your sister. And you say, Jack?
Are you prepared to be a super dad?
Super dad. Yeah, I think so, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's my calling. I think that's what I'm going to have to be, whether I want to or not.
You've got no choice now. Today, Catherine goes home, which means a short goodbye to the babies. How are you going to cope leaving them behind today?
It's going to be difficult, but I have got another little girl at home, so I'll sort of be in 2 minds about leaving the 4 here though. But I might be coming up every day to see them. They won't be able to keep me away.
See you home, mate.
Maybe.
You sleep and soundly.
Even when this little tribe get out of intensive care, they face another 3 months in hospital. But Morris has little doubt theirs will be a happy ending.
We'll go fishing in a few weeks' time, eh? See you, mate. He's kicking.
How good is that? Tara Brown there. And hopefully the next time we meet the Cole family, they'll all be safely
At Quadruplets, Maddison Cole didn't take fertility drugs. When she became pregnant for the second time, she was expecting just 1 baby, not 4. Her next shock came when the babies arrived several months early. As Tara Brown reports, it's been quite a battle for this loving family ever since.
At just 8 days old, Edward's entire hand is only slightly bigger than his mum's thumbnail. They all weigh around the 1 kilo mark, about the size of a bag of sugar and just as sweet.
Now tell me the order of birth.
Yes?
Don't stump me on that one.
We first met the Cole Quads 9 months ago. Tiny babies who popped into the world nearly 4 months before they were due. Meet them today, not so tiny anymore. They're all around the 7 to 8 kilo mark, and they're all finally home, to the relief of Mum and Dad, Catherine and Morris Cole. When you were talking about bringing home your 4 little champions, did you think it would ever be like this?
No.
Champions in the way that they've just fought and fought, like for their health and well-being. They just continually fight. They're amazing.
The road to recovery has been far from smooth, and the difficult journey is not over yet.
I've been very humbled in the last 9 months about life and death, and it's all because of them. Life is very precious.
Very precious.
Morris and Catherine had their first scare when the babies were just 6 weeks old. Having survived an amazing start to life, Jackson suffered a complication when blood supply to his hand was cut off.
And he's ended up with the very tips of some of his fingers not surviving.
We have been told that it's going to be a roller coaster ride, and this is just the start of it, I think.
Yeah, we've just gone down our first big dipper. It's yours, actually. It's not ours.
No,
Yeah.
is it?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
You like it?
Is it?
Yeah.
Touched by the family's circumstances, Nissan Australia donated this 7-seater Toronto 2, fully insured by QBE.
Oh, you're kidding.
And Little Conversions provided little seats for a safe ride for when the babies leave hospital.
Complete with 4 little capsules for the 4 little champions in the back. Can they look, darling?
In July last year, Catherine went home without her babies.
I mean, the first couple of days it was like, wow, you know, I'm at home and I could walk around without feeling too heavy. And but now it's like, oh gosh, you know, I just want to be at the hospital as well, you know, every other minute of the day. But
6 weeks later, at the end of August, little Imogen, firstborn and fighting fit, comes home to a loving welcome from older sister Maddison.
Can you give her a kiss and say no, no?
Let's say good night to her again.
Like kiss. Like kiss. Like kiss.
I think she's just proof that, you know, they can actually come home after being born so early. It's lovely. The grass is looking greener, I think. Finally.
2 weeks later, and now full term, Robert is released from hospital. But it will be another month and a half before Jackson gets to say goodbye to the ICU ward and his little brother Edward.
I see you, mate.
Where's goodbye, Jackson?
We reunite in 2 weeks.
Both boys have apnea. They stop breathing while they're asleep. Doctors have been able to sort out Jackson's apnea because it's associated with reflux. Edward's is not as easy to stop.
We'll miss you, but we'll see you again.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
In February, after 8 long months in hospital, Edward is finally allowed to go home. But before we see him there, he's readmitted with further breathing complications.
So a few more days in hospital?
Well, I think so, till about Monday or Tuesday.
Paediatrician Dr. Hugh Allen believes Eddie won't be off oxygen until he's a year old.
Sometimes when he has colds and when he gets a bit tired, his heart rate goes down and he stops breathing. This is when he's asleep.
We're always doing something. We haven't had a chance to enjoy the babies as yet, and they're 8 months old now, so it's been very difficult. We just like to go out and not have to go to a doctor's appointment. Just go somewhere and have a picnic or something and enjoy that.
But just 1 week later, Kathy, Morris and Jackson have another appointment, the family's 40th, this time at Australian Hearing Services.
We call him Mr. Magoo because he's always going good. Magoo.
And then you just turn it on by pushing this.
For the first time in his short life, Jackson will hear his parents speak.
But that's progress.
Yeah.
We've just accomplished something.
Well,
and it's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Yeah. And it's very good for him.
It's another hurdle we've jumped.
Yeah.
It really is. It's a milestone.
Put you down there and I'll go and get a quilt.
With all 4 little champions home now, there's about 4.5 hours sleep each night, 32 nappies to change each day, and 16 hours of feeding a day.
Find out who's going to go grocery shopping
To get out of the house. They cope by feeding 2 while the other 2 are still sleeping. Catherine's mother, Pam, is also often on hand to help. At the end of the day, though, there's not much time for Kathy and Morris.
No, it's been a good testing ground for us both, and I think this will make or break us, and yeah, that's what it's doing.
So, will it be make or break?
Make.
Well, I hope so, yeah.
You know me.
No, it will. It will. If we can overcome the demands of bringing up 5 children at the same age, well, I think we can survive that. We can survive anything, yeah. And we love each other. Look at her, she's beautiful.
Oh. The next couple of months is likely to be pretty testing for this pair. Doctors suspect Jackson and Edward may have cerebral palsy. What does that mean for their life?
We'll just...
I guess it comes back to our old philosophy of taking each day as it comes, really.
Just what we take for granted day to day is what they're going to have to learn a little bit more.
Yeah.
We hope not. We hope in the next few months things will catch up nicely.
Yeah.
If it sounds like there's never a bright side for this family to look on, think again.
We see little smiles and developmental things every day that they do, just bathing them and having them smile at us and laugh at us, and yeah, there is an upside, definitely.
I love you, Liam. I love you.
Great family, great outlook. And the Cole family, all 7 of them, are currently making do in a tiny 3-bedroom house. They're not asking for help, but we're sure if anyone out there would like to lend a hand, it would certainly be welcome. Just contact us.